my dad is legally blind. And so I remember in seventh grade, he was working at the board, now called Lifeway,
Heard of it.
and got this eye disease that just infiltrated both of his eyes, and he couldn't shoot baskets anymore. Couldn't shoot in the driveway. Multiple surgeries, still legally blind at this point. And I remember that was the first dealings I really had with the Lord, where we wrestled it, of like, okay, I'm in seventh grade, I'm mad at you, but I prayed, and it was just consistently, hopefully continually, as you talked about, going before the Lord. Now, I think the Lord really did humble me in so many ways. My ways are not your ways.
Right.
Yeah.
My ways are higher than your ways. And I will do things through your dad's infirmity that you would never imagine.
Yep.
But you got to let me have my way with it. And that was the first, when I think about prayer, of like that wrestling is, I'm mad at you, but I trust you, but I kind of don't trust you, but I'm this. And starting to just really, but the beauty of it was, to me as a kid, was he allowed me to have a conversation with him that was ongoing.
Yeah.
And he didn't lightning bolt me to the ground for my disobedience or my anger. He was just steadily shaping me into who he wanted me to be, and we're still there. That was one of my first experience with prayer, because that was the first thing I was so desperate of, that I wanted Dad to be healed so badly, that, okay, I'm coming to you because, Jesus, I know you're the only one that could do it, but I also know in your sovereignty, you're the one that allowed it. Like, everything that comes into our hands into our lives is first passed through his hands, right? So why? And to be quite honest, in the Bible, we don't get a ton of those answers, right? But it's interesting. It's just, I trust him. I trust his track record.
So I feel it, and gosh, that's so beautiful. Yesterday, I had the option, Sunday at church. When does this come out?
Tonight.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
yesterday.
good.
It's called real time.
Yeah.
We did it. Are we live?
Yeah.
Is this thing on?
I went round and round and round about giving practical handles to how to pray. Because so often that's where people really struggle. That's where I struggle. It's like, what do I do now? You say I need to pray. Tell me how. The disciples, that's the one thing they asked. Teach me how to pray. And I decided to not give any sort of practical handles. You're right. A lot of these answers the Bible doesn't give us, and I think that's by design. Because it's not a textbook. It's not a reference book.
Right.
We treat it that way sometimes. But it's neither of those things. It's the living Word of God, and it drives us back to Him. It reveals His character. All of these things, but at the same time, if it is just this reference book, then we can say, okay, how do I pray? I'm going to do these things. Here's the template. Okay, cool. I got that. I'm going to memorize that chapter, and now I know how to pray. And so I don't need to worry about it anymore, because I know the magic words. As opposed to, like in your prayers, this beautiful idea of wrestling with God and questioning God, and even bringing our frustrations. And I don't understand. I'm asking you for this one thing, and you're not going to give me this one thing, and you're the God of the universe. Like, with the snap of your fingers, it's done.
Yeah, you just
but
touch
why
your
not?
cloak and it's fixed, right? And
But what it does, if the idea is intimacy with your Creator, if it was just this, benevolent king or the wizard behind the curtain or whatever, a genie in a bottle, and you just had to say the right words and you were going to get what you wanted. If that's what prayer was, there is no intimacy there.
We talk about this. You brought it up. You brought up the Lord's Prayer. And the more and more I study the Lord's Prayer, Tremper Longman goes on to say it's how you should pray, not what you should pray. But it's not an exact list of what to do necessarily. It's just, here is the attitude and the heartbeat behind a heart that is focused on Jesus. And like, Jesus was so serious about his time alone with the Father that it just became the hallmark of his early mornings. And I've got to get to that point where it's that rich in the morning before, whenever that happens for us.